Reed going deep. Warmed and gulped back at the 26. Pita.
Yep. But when I'm watching this, it feels like college hunger.
Yeah.
Like the hunger of the players. You know what I'm saying? The key is to make it. The key is to make it.
The key is to make it. All right, welcome back to the Kriner Scoop. We got the UFL 2026 midseason scoop today. And how has the season gone? I'd say it's been a bit of a roller coaster. We were up, then we were down, and then we were up. And then a bunch of players got traded about a week ago. And bottom line is all the teams, all 8 of them, as previously mentioned in last episode, are still alive for the playoffs, even though some team seasons are a bit on life support. We'll go into that and more on this episode of the Kriner Scoop Sports. Alright, so one thing that we have not talked about yet this season is the Birmingham Stallions' new coach, AJ McCarron. And it's significant because AJ McCarron, let's just, instead of me telling you about his history, let's just throw on this great montage that I just made. Alright, take it away.
Please come now, I think I'm falling, holding on to what I think is safe. I seem to have found the road to nowhere, and I'm trying to escape. I am back when I heard thunder, but I'm down to one last breath. And with it, let me say, hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking maybe 6 feet is so far down. Somewhere wrong now. I think I'm falling, holding on to all I think is sea.
So yeah, that's AJ McCarron. Do you think that went on too long? I think that might have gone on a little too long, but I hope you appreciated it. Shout out to all the other YouTube creators who I took their videos and compiled it. I'm going to try and link all that below. But anyways, yeah, AJ McCarron, you saw at the end, he was the quarterback for St. Louis Battlehawks. He was their quarterback for a number of years. Never won the championship, unfortunately, but had some good seasons. So he retired about 2 seasons ago, and after a season off, now he's the coach for the Birmingham Stallions, kind of his old nemesis in a way, because the Stallions were always the ones winning the championships. Well, at least 1 year while they played together during the merger. So yeah, quick costume change, and that's actually a good segue into the next segment of this video, which is where we are at in the playoff picture. And I'm going to show the current standings after 5 weeks, so perfectly halfway through. And we have all teams are still alive is the good news. But let's start with the Stallions and AJ McCarron at the bottom, who are in the worst shape and more or less have to win out at this point, which they have not really been shown to be able to do. I mentioned trades at the beginning of this video. One of the big trades was that the Stallions traded their original quarterback, Matt Corral, for Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who was the backup for the Orlando Storm. And Dorian Thompson-Robinson actually performed better than I was expecting last week in a game against the DC Defenders, where they lost, but the offense was not as big of a problem as their defense was. Dorian Thompson-Robinson looked good, which was surprising because a lot of big names from the NFL tend to not do so well. I'm thinking Paxton Lynch, Shea Patterson, Landry Jones. Oh, there's at least one more I'm not thinking of right now. Oh, what's his name? Brett Hundley. Vegas Vipers fans will remember, perhaps unfondly. They always show up, big names, and they never do anything. That's why there's a lot of hype after this NFL draft about Diego Pavia joining the UFL. I mean, even if he did, I don't know if he'd do well. There's just kind of a curse against these big-name QBs. So, anyways, Stallions need to win out. They're in rough shape, but they've won enough championships, so I don't know. They might get relocated if they don't win, but hopefully not. Columbus Aviators, 1-4. Big story, Ted Ginn, their coach, got a DUI in week 2 right before a game. Todd Haley had to step up, so lots of turmoil. But they actually are pretty competitive. They just seem like they lack. They're almost like a young team in the NFL. Like you can see they're good, but they just don't know how to win yet. I could see them pulling some upsets for the rest of the year. Don't really see them making the playoffs, but they are still alive, so anything can happen. Up next, we have the Houston Gamblers, who have pulled off a couple of interesting upsets this year. They've also been probably the most injury-riddled franchise of the season so far. So I don't know if it's really fair to judge them yet, but they do have 2 wins versus 3 losses, so they're very much in the playoff picture. They're kind of the biggest wild card to me right now, what they're going to do. Next, we have the Louisville Kings, who are looking really good at the midpoint of the season. They started 0-3 on a 2-game win streak, and they are on a roll right now. They actually have more points for than against, which is kind of a good sign that they've been more unlucky than bad. So we'll see if they can snatch one of those last playoff spots of the top 4. Reminder, top 4 teams make the playoffs. So who's currently in the playoffs and who's looking kind of over their shoulder at these teams we just mentioned? First up, St. Louis Battlehawks, who were kind of similar to Louisville, slow start to the year. Defense was always good. Offense is starting to step it up a little bit. They went to their backup quarterback, Harrison Frost, and then traded for Spring King, Louis Perez. So that still could be the biggest story of the season if Louis Perez ever starts. If, we don't know. But he is the Spring King for a reason. It's kind of crazy he's been on the bench this long, but it's kind of been weird circumstances. But yeah, if Harrison Frost falters, expect Louis Perez to go in. Battlehawks are probably going to be in decent shape to make the playoffs this year. If any team could falter and make it out, I'm actually looking at the Dallas Renegades, who are the darlings of the league through the first 3 weeks of the season. Austin Reed was the best QB in the game. He was playing lights out. Still playing pretty good, but not good enough to overcome some falters from the rest of the team. I haven't watched many Dallas games this year, if any, so I don't want to speak too much on it. But I do like an underdog. And I feel like the Louisville Kings and Gamblers are bigger underdogs than the Renegades, so maybe I'm staking my claim there of what I want to see. And it's not the Renegades in the playoffs. I'm also a Defenders fan, so maybe that's why. I just don't want to see Austin Reed pick it back up like he was playing. Because he was playing as good as the best spring league quarterbacks we've ever seen in the last few years. Think Alex Magoo that one year. Adrian Martinez also that one year. Both with the Stallions. I'm telling you, the Stallions used to be gangbusters, guys. And it's crazy that they suck now. Also, probably why a lot of local fans are ready to run A.J. McCarron out of town. So hopefully if that happens, my montage video becomes like a meme and gets a lot of replay there. I don't know. We'll see how the internet plays that. Top two teams. I haven't really been talking about my color keys, but orange needs some help to make the playoffs. Yellow, they're in decent shape. They kind of control their own destiny, I guess is the idea there. And green, they can afford to make some mistakes. So second place right now in the standings is the Orlando Storm. They just picked up their first loss. But they didn't really look that great in this first loss. So eager to see what happens there. Anthony Becht kind of has a reputation in the Spring League of doing well in the regular season and not doing well in the postseason. So I don't want to say that that's going to happen, but I'm already seeing, like, did they peak too early? I don't know. Jack Plummer's still a good quarterback, and now they've got Corral as their backup QB. So, you know, they're in good shape in their QB room, which is important, as we know. And the DC Defenders, my reigning champions. I don't know why the Louisville Kings call themselves the Kings. I don't see no crown on their head. I see a crown on the Defenders' heads because we are the defending champions. Okay, anyways, we started off slow. Lost our first game of the year to, I believe, the St. Louis Battlehawks. And even after that, we won a couple games, but our offense was still sluggish. Last two games, Jordan Ta'abu, last year's MVP, is playing really great. He's 11 touchdowns away from the all-time Spring League record for touchdown passes by a QB, which was set by, oh gosh, I'm forgetting the name now, but I'll throw it up here. It's a big name from the 80s. Yeah, he could beat that, which is pretty crazy. He just needs to average a little over 2 touchdowns a game for the rest of the season. No gimme, but possible. I think Louis Perez is also in that race, but gosh dang it, no one will give him a chance to throw more touchdowns. The league is scared of Louis Perez, as they should be. So yeah, that's where we are with the standings. Exciting last 5 weeks. I'm really excited to see how it goes, and then report back at the end of the year and see where we end up. My prediction: Defenders, Storm, Battlehawks, Gamblers, because I told you I like an underdog. And Houston, as crazy bad as they can be, they have made the playoffs before. I think they can do it again. What am I basing that off of? Mainly Nolan Henderson's ability to stay healthy. So, hopefully he does that. And finally, the last segment of the video that I will leave you with is, I guess, just because I kind of reported on the halftime shows in my first video, I guess we'll do a quick little follow-up on that. So every home opener for the UFL had a halftime show that tried to bring in a big name. The worst of which I would say were DJ Khaled and Wale. DJ Khaled did a DJ set for the Orlando Storm. Wale performed in DC. Wale I didn't actually see, so I won't speak to that because I like Wale. But a lot of people did not like that from what I could tell on the Reddit, which is a toxic place, so who knows? Who knows how Wale performed? Only Wale can really answer that. I think he would be proud. DJ Khaled, I did see that performance on YouTube, and that was not my favorite. I do like listening to him talk, though, sometimes. The best halftime shows for me were Russell Dickerson for the Louisville Kings. I actually discovered him through this halftime show. I really like his music. So thank you, UFL and the Kings. Gucci Mane for the Stallions, which I got to see this live on the TV, and I freaking love this performance. I like that it was like a 30-minute set. I think they gave him too much time accidentally because I don't think it was supposed to go that long. But it was awesome. I loved every second of it. The crowd was vibing.
Is that Piggly Wiggly? If you don't like this, you just don't like spring football. Huh, kids? Piggly Wiggly!
The Piggly Wiggly pig was in the crowd bumping the whole time, which just tickled me. Pink. Like a pig. Piggly Wiggly. So that was great. I also heard Gavin DeGraw was good. Didn't see that. Don't know where he performed. Probably Columbus. I don't know. Just my guess. So yeah, that is all I got for the mid-season scoop. A lot is happening, as you can tell. I mean, how do we shorten it to this short a video? I don't even know. Because 5 weeks, it's just been boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, when I said it was good, bad, I was mostly referring to like the ratings and the crowd. Seemed like ratings were up, and then they were down, and then they're up again. So we might get another year of spring football, which is never a gimme. So I'm excited about that. Excited to see how we end this year. Go Defenders. Boo the Stallions. And that's it, really. I'll see you later.